Hi, I'm Moneeka Sawyer from blissfulinvestor.com. I started my podcast, Real Estate Investing for Women, about 3 years ago. And about a year and a half ago, I moved all of my production and hosting and everything over to Podetize. And so I just want to tell you how much I love Podetize. So when I first started my podcast and hired a production team, I loved my team. I have to say, they were great editors. I got great show notes. They handled all of, the video piece, all of those things. However, each person handled different stuff. So I was managing the entire team. And that's a lot to think about every single week, especially if you're doing more than one episode per week. But for me, I was doing one episode a week. It still felt like a lot. And then I discovered Podetize. They handle all of it. Their show notes are the best in the industry. Like, people constantly comment to me about how amazing my blog posts and my transcripts are, and my show notes are. The editing for the show, the audio portion of the show, is awesome. And they also edit my video and put it up on YouTube and then put it up on my blog post. So they do all of this stuff in one place. Whenever there's any questions or anything, I get to talk to one team. I pay one team. Right. So it's so much easier. It took so much off of my plate, and they do such a great job. I've recommended them to many of my friends, and I would very highly recommend them to you too, just for that piece. But then it gets even better. So for me, I have started to get sponsors. That happened about a year and a half ago. And I heard with Podetize, you can do what they call dynamic ads. And what that means is that if you put an ad out, it goes through every single show in your catalog. So in the old days, I would record a show, record an ad, put it into that particular show, and then it would just be in that show. And then if someone listened to that show 3 years later, which happens, right, then they would hear that old ad. Well, now if I'm putting in an ad through Podetize and someone listens to a show from 3 years ago, they're going to hear the same ad that is playing for today. So that's amazing for the listeners. But what's also really cool is when you sell that to your sponsors, they're realizing that they're getting visibility in your entire catalog. So let's say someone comes to your show and they binge and they listen to, 100 episodes, or they listen to 3 episodes 5 times, right? They're all going to get the same ad. That same advertising is going to be reinforced over and over and over again. So I tell my advertisers that they get, my case, 300 opportunities to have people hear that ad every single week. It's a huge selling point. It's increased my sponsorship dollars dramatically. So I love Podetize. I love what they've done for me and my show, and I think you should check them out. Thanks. Moneeka Sawyer with blissfulinvestor.com. Bye.